excited, some may be. But I will have some quotes from famous, enlightened masters, because we got a new year ahead of us. We need all the help we can get, right? I don't know if I've got it all. I had to bring in the masters today to make this year amazing. I love that song. That was the perfect introduction to our new year. It can be amazing, no pressure. That doesn't mean we have to do anything big. Some days just getting out of bed in the morning is amazing at my age. Charles Fillmore, in talking about unity, one of my favorite lines of his was, he said, the truth that we teach is not new. We didn't make this stuff up. If you go all the way back to the past, from Buddha, Confucius, Plato, Socrates, I could go on and on. These truths are eternal truth, unchanging for everyone, no matter where you came from, your race, color, or creed. These teachings are true. And so when we're envisioning this new year, when we're feeling, what is this year going to be about? Let's keep it simple. It doesn't have to be big to be amazing. It can be simple. Anybody here make things complicated? Yeah, no, nobody here, right? Confucius, the first quote of Confucius, he said, life is really quite simple, but we insist on making it complicated. So if that's your issue, it might be the word to put in the burning bowl today. For me, it can be as simple as in 2023, I want to make healthier choices. That's as simple as it has to be, what we let go of today. I want to make healthier choices this year. And there are two basic unity teachings that we talk about all the time. One is metaphysics and one is mysticism. And metaphysics is where, you can make things happen with your thoughts, with your words, your intentions. We can make things happen this year that we desire to have happen. And then the other is an opposite paradox, but equally true, letting go and allowing it to be whatever it is to be, allowing the divine to manifest this new year in and through you. Whichever way you go with that, some people prefer to make it happen, other people prefer to let go and allow. It's more about letting go than knowing how. Sometimes we feel like we gotta know how this is gonna happen. And Socrates once said, the only true wisdom is to know that you know nothing. The older I get, the more I know, I don't really know. And I've had to let go of all I was taught that was true and come to unity to bring in a different kind of truth. So we don't always have to know moment by moment what's going to happen or how it's going to unfold. We can just have an idea, and then we have to let go of resistance and accept whatever is. And each moment is there for a reason, and believe in the blessing in every now moment, no matter what that looks like. So the biggest blocks that we have on New Year's is the resistance to change and the fear of the unknown. The resistance to change and the fear of the unknown. So if that's true for you, and if you're comfortable doing a few affirmations with me, would you join me in saying, I release all fear together? I release all fear. I live in the all-sufficiency of the divine together. I live in the all-sufficiency of the divine. United with God, I am safe and provided for together. United with God, I am safe and provided for. And whatever other affirmations you need to make up, whenever the fear of the unknown, the fear of change, the fear of something new, just say that, not to change anything out there, but to make you shift into peace, into that place of power and out of fear. Change is necessary. Another line, if you'd like to say it with me. If I continue to do what I've always done, I'll continue to get what I've always got. Together, if I continue to do what I've always done, I'll continue to get what I've always got. And should we follow that with an oops? Oops, oops. But first, what do we have to do? Let go. Another oops, oops. Picasso, I wouldn't exactly say he was enlightened, but he certainly made a name for himself. He said any real act of creation is first an act of destruction. Maybe that's why his art looked the way it did. First you have to have chaos. Anytime you change, you rearrange the furniture in here to make it different, it looks like chaos for a while. And we have to be comfortable with that. Change is not always pretty, but if we go with it, it can lead to our good. Now the other extreme is to stay stuck in the sameness. This is the way I've always done it. This is the way it's always been. This is the way I want it to be. Now I'm a Gemini, that would suffocate me. But other people feel more comfortable in that place. So it's a choice that you have. But in order to evolve in consciousness, we have to be willing to expand. And that takes change. In the Hindu tradition, they had 3 gods. Brahma was the creator, Shiva was the destroyer, and Vishnu is the preserver. Because they knew life is about creating something new, preserving it, and then destroying it and starting all over again. And that can feel scary to some people. But Socrates said, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old or holding on to the old, but on building the new. In other words, hanging on to the past, no matter what it is, takes energy that robs you of what we could be doing today. Letting go, letting go. I had a dear friend call me this week. I love her dearly. And she was really upset if a relative of hers was making unhealthy choices and she couldn't get her to change. And I kept telling her, you just got to let it go, because it was hurting her. And the more I said let it go, the angrier she got at me. And then she started talking about something else that she was really upset about, and I said, you just got to let it go, and she got even more upset. And I realized, okay, I got to let go of telling her to let it go. You know. Anybody here holding on to old emotional issues? Those small irritations that you have the same reaction to as you did before? Or that person who's in your face and that gives you that same reaction as you had before. Or those buttons that get pushed and you have that same reaction as before. Well, today that's what the burning bowl is for today. It's to let that all go. Let that all go. And be willing to see things differently. You know, my fondest memory of growing up, you all know I grew up in the country. And we had a big old crabapple tree. It was the prettiest tree when it was in bloom and the blossoms were on. But my favorite thing to do, I was a bit of a tomboy, I used to hang upside down on one of the limbs. It was a perfect big limb and it just fit me just right. And I would hang upside down and swing back and forth, looking at the world upside down. And I reveled in that old crab tree. And the reason I'm bringing that up today is we have to change our perception. We have to see our world differently. See what's in front of us differently if we want to make a new beginning in this new year. So for those of you that like steps, how to maneuver through the new year, here you go. The first step is be willing to have something be new and different and change. Be willing. You don't have to do anything. Just be willing. Buddha said every morning we're born again. What we do today is what matters most. Are you willing to have today be different than it was yesterday? Or are you more comfortable in having today be the same as it was yesterday? The choice is yours. And then the second thing that goes along with that is letting go of the old. Especially letting go of the need to control it. The need to keep it the way you think it should be or want it to be. Altogether no oops, oops. And then we take time in the silence this year. That doesn't mean you have to be a great meditator. It just means be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. And listen. Give this space. Give some space for the divine to speak through you, to guide you. It may not come in a voice, it may not come in a word, but a prompting. Oh, I think I'll do this now. This sounds fun. I think I'll go here now. I think I'll do this. And then the big one, oh, it is for me, patience. Oops, do you want to say oops right away? Okay, get it out of your system. Oops, patience. Our good is in the flow. We can't rush it. We can't make it happen. And it might be kind of slow. I'm not always patient when things are slow. It might be slow. Plato said, never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. The world awakening, we all keep waiting for the world to wake up, and it seems to be so slow. But if you look back 20 years ago, 10 years ago, there have been some major changes in consciousness for the majority of the people, not everyone. We still got a lot of problems we're dealing with, but there have been a lot of changes, and changes sometimes slow. But the divine unfolds within us without our effort, without our control, and it's arrogance to believe that anything I do could help me become enlightened. That's arrogance. Only the divine unfolding within me can do the work. Believe me, I can be as dumb as a rock and still become enlightened, because it is not I, but the Christ within. All I have to do is let go and allow the unfolding. Look, here's proof. Rocks and minerals can transform into crystals and diamonds without any effort. Plants can bloom into beautiful flowers or fruit without any effort. Caterpillars can magically become butterflies, and humans can become beings of light and love. The Buddhists have the symbol of the lotus. The Christian used the symbol of the rose, that unfolding that happens from within us, not by the effort of the person, but just the divine unfolding. Jesus said, know the truth, and the truth will set you free. He didn't say go out there and put a lot of effort. Go out there and make it happen, control it, manipulate, force it. He said, know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if you're comfortable repeating with me, I know my union with the divine presence. Together, I know my union with the divine presence. I let go and allow 2023 to unfold. Together, I let go and allow 2023 to unfold. Now you'll probably notice the order of service is a little different today. We're going to go into the burning bowl. Two things are going to have burning bowl. That sounds like some sort of a Wicca or exoteric ceremony, doesn't it? Oh, we're going to burn the bowl. All it means is we're going to write on a little piece of flash paper and put in the bowl anything we want to let go of. So the first part is letting go. But we're going to meditate first. Sorry about that. Because some of you might have come in and said, I'm going to let go of eating broccoli this week. Well, Spirit might have a better idea of what you need to let go of. I know there are things I need to let go of that I probably don't even realize right now. And then the second part of that is we're going to listen to Spirit. Again, not our ego, because our ego might think we want to manifest something else this year. But listen to the voice of Spirit or divine, whatever you call that presence of the divine, of what we should see and hold and feel for this new year. And be prepared to be surprised. Be open to a surprise as to what each of those might be. You know, people always ask me when I envision something new, do I make it specific or general? And there's two schools of thought. Either one could be right. If you really want a red Mustang convertible, go for it. But I tend to, when I get what I want, sometimes, be careful what you pray for. You got what you asked for. So I tend to like to be a little more general, and instead of saying a red Mustang convertible, I would say the perfect vehicle for me right now. But you do, if you really want that red Mustang convertible, go ahead, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you envision. And then whatever you envision, be careful what you pray for, you will manifest it. But here's how we're going to do this first. We're going to meditate and do this through Spirit, not our egos. So ask the divine, by whatever name you call that presence, what to release and let go of during the meditation. And then also ask the divine to clarify an intention of feeling some aspect of yourself that you would like strengthened this year, something you'd like to manifest, who you want to be. It can be anything, no pressure. It doesn't have to be big. Keep it simple, but listen to spirit, not your ego. Be willing to be surprised. Now, if you look at your envelope, there's a couple things in this envelope. And by the way, after meditation, you can write your address on it when you're writing your letter. You'll have plenty of time. And you can stay as long as you want today if you want to finish it. We're going to pass them into the ushers before you're done. But the first there's a half sheet of paper, big sheet of paper. This is for your letter. The little piece of flash paper is for you what you want to let go of. And a lot of you want to let go of a lot this year. You don't have to write a whole letter. The divine in you knows what it is. Just a word or two. I've narrowed mine down to a couple words, and they all fit on here. God doesn't need your whole story. So don't come up to the burning bowl with the big half sheet of paper. You're going to set the church on fire. This is flash papers to let go of. The intention is a letter to yourself. And then we're going to collect these letters to yourself. And when you least expect it, say September, October, somewhere in there, we're going to mail them to you. What do you want to hear from yourself a year from now or 9 months from now? Write that letter to yourself. So you got that? Okay. So which paper are you going to release? Flash paper. Which one are you going to write your letter on? Okay, I'm really stressing that because that's an important one. Now, to keep this ritual sacred, we're going to do the offertory first because we want to get business out of the way so the rest of the service can just be totally from the heart. But meanwhile, I'm going to light the Christ candle. And when I light this